Hello guys, on today's video I will show you how I got from this to this. Well, it's kind of a long one. Grab some popcorn, your favorite beverage. Let's do it. I hope you're well, safe, and I hope you enjoy the video. Hello guys, how are you? Today I'm excited to take you on a journey, if you want to take it, through history and building the Heller 1/75th scale Santa Maria kit. This is a relatively old kit, but don't let its age fool you. In my humble opinion, it's still a great kit to work with. One thing that it's very common on Heller kits when you open the kit is these plastic vac form sails, and the kit plastic pieces are molded kind of a vibrant orange color that gives the model kind of a very original look. The Santa Maria was as you know, was one of the first of the 3 ships that Christopher Columbus used on his first voyage to the Americas, 1492, and this kit provides an opportunity to recreate this historic ship in miniature form. As you can see, like all Heller kits, brings this beautiful, very simple base piano, and the kit is kind of a good size overall. I like the wood texture. Some modelers say it's a bit overreacted, a bit exaggerated. I can agree with that, okay, at scale. But hey, I like it. It's cool. And also brings these acrylic paints, which, by the way, I'm going to use mainly, and by mainly I mean almost 95% of all paints used, enamels. Why? Old-fashioned. I just wanted to do a kit with enamels, and I have a lot of those enamels here, so I tried to do that, and overall I had tremendous fun. Please, if you're following this build and video, be careful when using enamels. First of all, well, mask, open air place to work with, to work on, but most of all, always protect your coats, your layers of paint, okay? We are used these days to work with acrylics, and some acrylic washes or whatever work very well with enamels. But if you are working with enamels and you start using oil washes like I did and some odorless thinners, you know the drill. It will get through your paint layer, so please be careful. Let's start with the build. I hope, as always, that you are safe, and I hope that you enjoy this video. And we start the build by cutting the pieces from the sprue, removing any excess plastic that we don't need. This will make, obviously, it easier for the pieces to fit together seamlessly. One thing I noticed on this kit is that despite its age, the Santa Maria kit fits very, very well. We all had troubles with the pieces not fitting together at certain stage of certain builds, and this one, it needs a bit of tender loving care, or TLC, yes, like all kits do, but it's been actually relaxing and an enjoyable experience working on this kit. So that's what I'm doing. I'm preparing, I'm sanding. One thing I did also was making sure that there was no paint whatsoever on the glue surfaces. Where the glue is going to touch and where the pieces are going to fit, I remove and sanded all the paint. There's one thing I have to come clean here. You will notice that when the time comes, the dead eyes, there are two styles. I mean, not the dead eyes. The dead eyes are a bit overscale, but well, I think the illusion is created. No, it's not overreacted. The fit and the connections to the hull are different. That's because I tested two different kinds of techniques. Okay, one I did it with the rope, twisted the rope and fit it into the hull, and the other was with photo edge, real photo edge at scale pieces. And either way, you cannot see it. Okay, in my opinion, you cannot see it, but because I'm telling you now, you will notice it. That's because I'm testing techniques and learning techniques for my HMS Victory. As I told you, I don't want to screw up that one. And even so, I replaced a lot of parts, and some are the wood blocks. The blocks are made of wood. The dead eyes rope is good quality rope. This kit didn't bring any rope. Shame on you, Eller. Even so, good kit, and I am trying to keep your attention, to call your attention to that detail when the time comes, okay? And if you stumble upon my videos in my YouTube channel here for the first time, I'd like to extend, first of all, a warm welcome to you. And I'm thrilled that you've taken the time to check out my content, this video, and I hope that you find it informative, above all, enjoyable. If you do like what you see, I would kindly ask you to consider subscribing to my channel, because subscribing is completely free and only takes a few clicks, but it would mean the world to me. I just want to say thank you for checking out my channel. If you guys are already subscribers, and if you like what you see, please comment. Any ideas, anything, just comment down below. I will read and try to answer all at my best opportunity, okay? So, welcome. And here I'm removing all the flash. Some ejector pin marks also. Not too many. This kit was very good. It's very good quality, honestly. Heller doesn't pay me, doesn't sponsor me. A lot of people say it should, but I don't care. The kit is really good, really good. However, it has a bit of flash, some ejector pin marks, and those really have to be removed. Doing a bit of dry fit, as you can see. Even though the parts are not to be glued right now, doesn't look too bad. If both hulls are squeezed a bit into the stern, yeah, very good fit, very good indeed. As you can see on this kit, not only the wood grain will be a challenge, but those little metal pieces, you know, iron pieces that just help to keep the ship together, the rudder. I just used an armor builder technique that I think it will be interesting to see. You will see more ahead.
As you can see, it's a considerable size for a kit, a model, and I get to get at the end with a caravel, a carack, either Portuguese or Spanish, doesn't matter. It was almost the same model. Very appealing, very interesting. I disagree with this depiction of the Santa Maria, but hey, it's a beautiful ship. Until now, it's a very cool build, very relaxing. As you can see, I used evergreen white strips just to tighten up a bit the fit of the stern. And regarding these, well, I have something to say to you later. And I already primed here the whole model with matte black, okay? It's a starting point. Usually when you want to paint any kind of wood grain, you start with a light and even maybe a light brown coat. In this case, I painted it black, and now I'm applying enamel dark brown. Why did I paint it or primed it black? I primed the model black matte because I need, obviously, first of all, a black base, but back in the days, old carracks, old caravels were filled with bitumen, and that bitumen was absorbed by timber and wood planks and make them darkish, almost black, you know. Therefore, a black base makes the dark brown obviously darker. To achieve the paint, this mix of paint, I used also the dark brown enamel paint on a ratio of 1:1 ratio of paint to enamel thinner. It's crucial to note, and please, I cannot emphasize this enough, note that each coat of paint should be sealed with a satin or clear varnish before applying any oil or enamel coat if you are going to apply it. If you're going to do any oil wash or any enamel wash, for instance, those bottled, I don't use it anymore, but if you are going to use those enamel washes, please protect the paint. That's a general rule, but here applies with greater importance because neglecting this step may result in stripping the paint all on the applied area. So it's important to seal each coat to ensure the longevity, quality, and believe me, been there, done that. You don't want to get that old, messy result applying an enamel wash or an oil wash and seeing your paint being stripped away. Please don't forget what I just told you. Also, now that you are watching me applying 2 tones of brown, lighter tones of brown, take in consideration that between each one I apply a coat of, wait for it, hairspray. Why hairspray? Most of you already know it. I want to weather the deck. I want to make some wood splinters, not exaggerated effect, however I want to weather it. And that the hairspray is going to, with the water, to just make the whole paint work look weathered, old, worn out. And now I'm applying dry brush. What is dry brush? Dry brush is a painting technique that involves using a small amount of paint on the brush with most of the paint wiped off, resulting in a very faint layer of paint being applied to the surface. As you can see here, that's why I enjoy so much the ship modeling texture on plastic, okay? I like because the dry brushing on this kind of hulls, it's going to stick on it and give it this beautiful wood grain texture without taking too much effort, okay? It will come naturally. As you can see right now, it looks even that I'm applying all the salt of the sea underneath. It just grabs into the surface. It's beautiful. Here you are watching me doing dry brush for a long time because I'm using several coats of matte 118, Revel matte 83, and Humbrol matte 94 and matte 29. Why? Because I want to create a texture, depth on the paint work, and I want to give it, you know, that wood grain texture. I am applying dry brush of several tones of brown. And now I'm applying a black pigment wash on the deck of the Santa Maria. It is essential to use, again guys, a varnish to seal the surface once the paint has dried. The varnish serves as a protective layer over the paint, cannot emphasize this enough, helping to prevent it from chipping, fading, or becoming damaged due to exposure even of light or heat, guys. In the case of this black pigment wash, the wash is used to create the weathered effect on the surface of the deck. Okay, I want to highlight the texture of the deck. When cleaning a surface that has been treated with a black pigment wash, it's essential to use a gentle cleaning solution and a soft, non-abrasive cloth or sponge. Okay, I'm using, when I'm cleaning it, mineral spirits. However, protect the surface. I'm always saying the same, guys. Avoid using harsh chemicals or abrasive materials that can scratch or damage the surface of the paint. With a sealed surface, the paint will be protected from any damage that might be occurred by this cleaning process, okay? And now I want to make this deck a bit better. Heller brings a very natural engraved vertical planking on the deck, but doesn't have any horizontal. So I am trying to apply an horizontal planking illusion, because this is only illusion, this is modeling, guys, on the deck. I draw the deck, the planking limits, and then apply a blade, engrave it a bit on plastic, and then another wash will do the works. And yes, guys, here I will clean better the wash, and the shine of the pencil, the graphite, will be toned down, because at the end, as a rule, I apply a matte coat. So no problem there. More ahead you will see that I painted the interior timber of the hull in a lighter brown tone. That's wrong. If the bitumen darkens the exterior, it darkens also the interior, right? So I correct that mistake, okay guys? Much better, don't you think? And as I sat at my work table painting these details on the deck of my model ship, I couldn't help but feel a sense of peace, relaxation going over me. It was cold outside at the time, but here in my cozy workshop or my hobby room, I was content and at ease. Model building to me is more than just a hobby. It's a form of therapy, an escape from the stress of everyday life. As I was going along painting, and each brush stroke, I found myself lost in the process, completely absorbed, and having a lot of fun. Model building is a slow and deliberate art form. It demands focus and patience, guys. I was for a long time one of those fast builders. I just wanted to build. I just wanted to forget the world, and sometimes I went faster than I could and than I should. It's a chance to slow down and disconnect from the paced and fast-paced world around us. And here what I was telling you a few moments ago. The technique I used to simulate the metal, although a bit rusty, on this ship model. Graphite technique. The graphite technique is a technique to use to simulate the appearance of metal on a surface, where you can use graphite powder or, like I am doing, this pencil. This technique can be used on a variety of surfaces, okay? Including plastic, also wood, and of course in metal. To apply the graphite technique to the rudder of the Santa Maria kit here, as you are watching me doing it, you need some graphite powder or this pencil, this kind of pencil, or some traditional pencil, no problem at all, soft brush or cotton swab, and you begin by cleaning thoroughly the surface. You apply this pencil or the graphite powder, whatever. You continue applying it until you achieve desired level of metallic shine. Then you slowly clean it and you obtain a very good metal appearance, let's say. Again, guys, I'm always explaining it. English is not my first language. I know I can communicate, but sometimes, as you saw a few moments ago, my mind just blocks. So I am sorry for that, but I know you understand it. Now we're going to put the rope of the anchor on this model. I was disappointed to find that it did not come with any thread, this kit, when I bought it. As I began assembling the kit, it was a negative side of it. I realized that I would need rope to complete it. Fortunately, I was able to source some from another modeler in Australia who was kind enough to send me all of his extras. He was building the Bounty, contacted me, said, "Alex, I don't need these extras, even the wood," because it was a wood ship. And he sent it all to me. The thread that I received from him was a great quality, and I was extremely, and I am extremely grateful for the generosity of him. I couldn't help but think about how this act of kindness helped to connect two modelers from different parts of the world, guys. I'm in Portugal, he was in Australia, New Zealand, I think Australia, and we share a passion for building model ships, and he sent those extra parts, including the ropes, to me. So in the end, I was able to use this rope in the Santa Maria kit, and I am grateful for the opportunity to connect with him, with someone who shares my passion for model ship building, and always, yeah, I will always remember him for his act of kindness, and I am grateful for it. So thank you very much, my friend. Unfortunately, I realized that there are still a lot of ejector pin marks, so I'm removing them, and I will have to repaint some pieces. And also, I am removing paint from the contact surfaces to be glued. And because it's late at night and I enjoy good things in life, just a bit relaxation, so cheers. This one's for you guys. Always enjoy good things in life. Now these dead eyes are one of the many modifications I did on the Santa Maria kit. As a model builder that I am right now, I have always been fascinated by the intricate details that go into creating these small replicas, okay? In my experience, round dead eyes provide a better overall look to a ship model than triangular ones. Now, I know we are talking about Santa Maria, that's why I'm bringing this subject up. While triangular dead eyes may have been historical and accurate for some vessels, namely this, I find that they can look somewhat clunky and awkward on many models, okay? We don't have here the Santa Maria. We have the descriptions of the model of the real ship, but the subject still is an open subject. Round dead eyes, on the other hand, provide a sleek and elegant look to ship model. They also allow for more flexibility in the rigging process, making it easier to adjust the tension, okay, on the shrouds if needed, guys. While I acknowledge that there may be some historical accuracy arguments in favor of triangular dead eyes, and I admit it, I believe that overall aesthetic of the ship model is just as important. So that's why I am using these round ones, okay? At the end of the day, the goal of any ship model is to capture the spirit and essence of the original vessel, and that's what I am trying to do here, guys. I'm trying new techniques, and I'm just making this one not only accurate but capture the spirit of the Santa Maria, and at the same time of all caravels, Portuguese, Spanish, English, Dutch, I don't know, everything. I just want to capture the essence. That's why I am using round dead eyes. This is just my personal opinion, okay? And here, guys, I am putting the strops. I think it's strops, the word is strop in English. If it's not, I'm sorry. I'm putting the dead eyes strops, rope ones, on the hull. You will find later ahead that I made the other side ones, the starboard or port side, I don't know, ones out of metal, the photo edge metal pieces that I have here, and they are adapted to scale. Now they are going to be painted just the same and weathered just the same. And if, in my humble opinion, you look at both, and I do think that you cannot figure out which one is what, you be the judge of it, okay? Remember, I'm just trying to test new techniques here. At the same time, I'm trying to do a good job, a good work, but it was very interesting. And instead of using the plastic ones, these wood dead eyes, they are amazing.
And so now I am going to show you what I did first with the thread, okay? If I paint this black, dark gray, and a little bit of dry brushing, it will look like metal, you know? But on the other side, it's not perfect here, need a few adjustments still, but either way really looks like metal and something that was from here. So one way or the other, I am kind of pleased with the results.
Now, to achieve the most accurate and realistic representation of the raft boat, I used several coats of enamels, starting with a black base, adding several types of brown paint on top, okay? I also used, as I told previously, the airspray chipping technique between coats of paint. This paint involves spraying, and I can explain it again. spraying a layer of hairspray between the layers of paint, which can then be peeled off with a wet brush in water to create a weathered, kind of rough and aged look, wood or whatever, metal, in this case wood. To improve the bottom of the boat, I used thin wood strips that were carefully measured and cut to size. Well, carefully, a bit carefully. I'm sure next time I will do a better work. These strips were then attached to the bottom of the boat using strong adhesive, namely CA glue and some white glue. Finally, I added some rope to the end of the boat to give it the most authentic and polished look and to make it look just aesthetically better. The rope was carefully wrapped around the end of the boat and secured in place with a small knot. Overall, I'm very happy with how the raft boat has turned out so far. It's been challenging, but at the same time a rewarding project that allows me to showcase my skills to improve some techniques as a model builder, and while also providing deep understanding and at the same time kind of appreciation for historical vessels that sailed the seas so many centuries ago, because I'm building the Santa Maria, but this raft were part of every ship. It was a live raft, they used it to go ashore, and it's also a boat, a model boat. So a model that goes inside another model, it's good for me. And after explaining so many times that I used hairspray, here's the demonstration of the technique. Again, you apply base coat, then in this case lighter coat, then hairspray, wait for it to dry, not too much, okay, just wait for it to practically dry, then apply another coat, each one darker than the previous one, apply again another coat if you wish, one coat in between each coat, one coat of hairspray in between of each coat of paint, okay, and then just water. As you can see, pretty cool effect, huh? And if you think, and very well, that this weathering is too heavy, please know that one of the things I do in the end is, if necessary, I finish with a very light, misty coat of dark brown. And that dark brown is going to settle on those pretty aggressive, clear brown spots, you know, and it's going to just unify the whole paintwork, just like a wash or something, but I'm working with enamels, so I use the airbrush. And now let's work a bit on the cannons. On this model ship, I used similar cannons from sword pieces and extra pieces to create the detail of these cannons. They were painted to match the color and style of the hull. I tried to create a cohesive and realistic design as far as I could. Additionally, the horse on the ship were sourced from another kit from spare boxes, old spare boxes, adding to the level of detail on this small boat. It's a pity that Aller didn't include all of the necessary components in this kit, such as basic items like rope or these oars, which had to be sourced separately. I could scratch build some, no problem, but for those modelers who just like to build and don't go as far in detail as I'm choosing to go, it's a pity. It's truly a pity, because the kit deserves it. Remember when I told you I had to change the interior of the hull, of the wood grain on the hull? Well, it was a bit of a setback, but I decided to take it as an opportunity to improve the overall coherence on the build, and that's what I'm doing. I'm giving the same wood treatment, the same wood grain treatment as the exterior. You know what? I'm very pleased with the results. You have that wood dark brown, you have the black of the soaked sea wood of the deck. Yeah, I'm pleased with it. And I know that this video is a bit lengthy, guys. I understand that some people might prefer shorter videos. I respect that, but for me it is important to capture all of the important details in one go. And like other videos where I might need to break up the footage, like the wood ships, HMS Victory, this particular build allows me to keep everything together in one continuous video. I recognize it, however, it might be a bit long to watch, but I want to make sure that I don't miss any important details or steps in the build process. As always, I appreciate your patience and support as I work through this project, and I hope that you find the end result to be worth the time and effort. And I know, guys, when sailing the high seas, all doors have to be closed, but hey, I thought that it would be, I don't know, a bit different to have this door just a little bit open. As I was working on this model ship, the rain outside provided a soothing background back then, and I found myself lost in the process of adding details to the ship, enjoying the calm and peaceful atmosphere. Despite the occasional distraction, guys, of some raindrops just tapping against the window, I was in tune with the model, focused, and I tried to do the best I could. I was truly at peace, guys. This is what modeling gives to us, and I'm grateful for this hobby. This just goes to show where the boat is going to stay. So much work and you cannot see it. This is the windlass. I just replaced the ropes, you know, because here you can see it, right? If you can see it, it's not correct. So I made it longer. And now the name plaque. First of all, I tried to give it the same treatment as the hull in order for the plaque to fit visually on the context on the model. And to paint this name plaque, I used acrylic gold color pen. This is, I think, a good choice for replicating the look of that gilded letter or text, which were common in the era when the Santa Maria sailed. After painting the name, I used a toothpick to soften any paint bleed out of the name lines. I think this is an acceptable or good technique for achieving a clean, crisp line and ensuring that the letters are easy to read. Now I start working on the deck of the Santa Maria, and my focus is on preparing all the points where the rigging and ropes are going to be attached and tied. To accomplish this, I have used wooden blocks. I'm going to use wood blocks and good quality rope, knowing that this scale, 175, may present some challenges along the way. However, I am kind of determined to do the best I can to make sure that everything looks as accurate and realistic as possible, the best I can do. I understand that rigging and tying ropes can be a time-consuming, also intricate process, but it's also a critical part of making these model boats, ship models, the faithful replica as possible as you can. I'm taking my time, paying close attention to details, making my research, using another rigging plans that I got from the web, and making sure that each rope will be properly secured and that rope will have a point to secure it. And the masts just took the same treatment with the hairspray, you know, just peeling off, weathering the wood, the timber, and making it look not old, but weathered. Sea is rough, so that's what I'm trying to do here. Over the past, while I've been assembling this Santa Maria kit from Heller, and so far, it's been quite an engaging journey. Although I don't fully agree with the representation that Heller used on the molds for this Santa Maria, for this ship, The kit itself is enjoyable and fascinating to build, which compensates a bit for some imperfections that the kit may have. I also used, yes guys, I used round dead eyes. Yes, I agree with you. Now that I'm seeing it in video, I should have used the triangular ones. However, you should see the way it is in my living room. You would just love it just the same, just like I do. For this project, also, I chose to use cloth sails instead of the ones included in the kit. I could have crafted these sails myself, as you see on other videos and saw on other videos, but I decided to purchase them this time around. I want to clarify one thing. I didn't ask for or leverage my YouTube channel to get them. I paid for them. And while I found the price a bit on the higher side, I also understand the effort and craftsmanship that goes into creating such sails like these. The cloth sails undeniably enhance the ship's realism, and it's up to each individual and modeler to decide whether investing in them is worthwhile or not. In my case, despite the price, I appreciate the value that they had to this project. I also used wood blocks, as you are watching now, and all my previous experience with ochre models and wood ship models, which I am still building, helped me, and this will also help me on my HMS Victory. So this is also a learning school. I'm just learning. I'm trying to do baby steps. Everything serves a purpose, and that's what's good in modeling. You just grow up in your experiences. And then to age the sails and give them a more authentic appearance, I used black tea to keep them in an unfurled position. I applied a mixture of white glue and water in equal parts. I just wanted to emphasize that my thoughts on the price of the sails aren't a criticism of the company that sells them. In today's world, everyone is trying to make a buck and trying to make a living. I can understand the reasoning behind their pricing. But perhaps a lower price could benefit both parties. But I respect the company's decision. I appreciate the quality of the product, but, well, let's not get into this subject. What I wanted to say really is building the Heller Santa Maria kit has been an enriching experience so far. Even if I don't agree with all aspects of the model, the cloth sails, though pricey, are of superior quality, provide a captivating touch to the ship. The decision to use them is up to each modeler. You are just watching the video and all the decisions I made. You can make it better, much better than I did. But as for me, I am content with the results, very humbled by the craftsmanship involved, if I do say so myself, because I did this with all my heart. At this stage of the project, I'm using a wooden base that I requested a carpenter to craft. I'm truly grateful for the excellent work he has done. There are still good people and very professional people out there doing his work. And now we will begin attaching the masts to the ship. I could have added the sails without mounting the masts first. That's the truth. But I needed to self-motivate myself and see the masts in place. Although this approach may slightly complicate the process, well, it has inspired me to continue with renewed energy, and I really like the way masts just give the model another different look, you know. I also simulated the rope rigging, as you saw, to strengthen the masts, because I wasn't fond of the plastic relief. And next I started applying the red lines, which are the ropes that form the ladder-like structure between the masts, you know. With these details in place, the ship model is coming together nicely, and I'm very eager to see the final result at this stage. It was time-consuming to do this. However, each one, for me, it was fun. I remember the time I was absolutely terrified to do this, and now each one is transforming itself into, from panic to relaxation. That's very, very good. Now these ropes, guys, I mean, they're not perfect, totally perfect. This is very basic. The basic structure of the rigging is here. However, it's not the exact one. If this is not easy to do, sometimes it isn't. If this is 1 to 75th scale, 75 scale, yes it is. So the way it's on this kit and being on the kit, I am already pleased with it because of the reduced scale. These blocks and dead eyes, they are a bit over the scale. Yes, they are. But be the judge of it. If you look at the kit, it just, you almost don't see the comparison in size and the disparity between scales. So I am pleased with it. Now you are noticing that the upper dead eyes are new, brand new, and the down ones are weathered. I will weather also the upper ones, one step at a time. But yes, you can see the discrepancy between them. The old ones and the new ones, they will be all toned down. Now we begin by identifying the dead eye corresponding to the specific rope we are working with. We take the end of the rope and the thread it through the top hole of the dead eye. Sorry for my English, I hope it's correct. We pull the rope through until we have enough length to work with. Then we thread the rope through the bottom hole of the dead eye, coming from the back side, and pull it through. You should see a loop forming on the front side of the dead eye. And then we continue this pattern by threading the rope through the middle hole, starting from the front side and then the back side through the bottom hole, coming from the back side. For the final pass, thread the rope through the top hole again, starting from the front side, and then secure it with a knot at the back of the dead eye. Make sure to pull the rope tight, okay? Keep the dead eyes tight, the shrouds tight. The rope very, very tight, and keep the tension consistent throughout the process, okay? Trim any excess rope, and if necessary, apply a small amount of glue to the knot to ensure it stays in place. And here, I tried to make them all even, all just at the same level. I failed. However, in my defense, I should say that these are not always at the same level as starboard and port side. These are used to tighten the ropes, so it's probable that some are at the same level and others are not. It depends the way you are tightening and adjusting the ropes. So visually would be much better if they stayed all at the same level. But even so, I think for the scale it's not a very bad work. And here I could probably do a dead eye in the starboard side, go through the mast and finish on the port side, but I choose to do it twos by twos, okay? Why? To give strength, equilibrium, and to make the main mast stay firm and straight. Because if you pull from one side too much, these are very fragile masts. You saw that I reinforced the masts at the beginning of the video. However, it's not enough, guys. It's not enough. These are very, very soft plastic masts. And I just reinforced them, and I am trying to not pull what I pull from one side. I try to compensate on the other to keep it straight. And here on the top mast, these knots and these ropes, well, as clean as I want it to be, and the ropes have a perfect order in order to fix one to another, it's inevitable. You just have to sometimes make that little space a bit crowded with rope, but hey, it's the price to pay for small scales, I think. And this rope looked to me pretty much and very much white. My opinion is, back then and even today, rope is not perfectly white, and white is not as accurate on these caravels than this now. So I painted using the same oil wash I used for the wood tone. I just kind of painted the rope, waited for it to dry, and then with a cotton bud removed the excess. Exactly like I do in plastic, I did it on this thread. And now, when it comes to those pesky red lines, you'll need to channel your inner sailor and master the art of the club hitch knot. Yeah. Picture this, you've got your trusty 0.75mm rope in hand, ready to tackle this tiny little nautical model. Let me tell you, working with a rope that thin is trying to, I don't know, thread a needle during a storm. It's a real test of patience. It's beautiful in the end, but it's a test of patience. And the club hitch knot, it's a sneaky little bugger that's supposed to secure the red lines and the shrouds of your miniature. It's like trying to tie your shoelaces with your eyes closed while standing on one leg on the rolling deck. I don't know if what I just said makes any sense, but that's how I felt. It's tricky, but you've got to have steady hands, and in the end, if all goes well, you'll love it. And after months of rain and gray weather, cold, a little sun, feels nice. And now the standing rigging and the rigging. I tried to do my best here. I gave the rope the same treatment I did previously with the wash. It looked too white, you know. And this is a caravel, this is a now, and ropes, well, could be white, but not this one. I mean, no one knows, but 99.9% of caravels and nows didn't use any white rope visible. So I washed this rope, cleaned the excess. It was dirty, grimed, exactly what I wanted. And I truly believe that these wood blocks made all difference. With a few extra metal pieces also in these wood blocks, they look superb. And I already told you, they're a bit overscale. Yes, they are. Because my site is not the best and I'm using this as an excuse for not using smaller wood blocks. But even so, they look beautiful. At least for me, on this model, they truly look amazing and make all the difference. Doing the rigging on this ship was also a small challenge, but I love it. You can see some metal pieces made all the difference. And by the way, I learned a lesson here. The masts are too thin. This is a plastic, it's not a wood ship. So the next time I will use a little ballast, maybe a little lead on the hull to give it some weight, because as I pulled the rope, you saw it oscillating a bit and moving a bit, and you could knock out the kit. So next time I will just do that. And I just wanted to address something here. Many of you, and thank you for that, I feel humble, send me messages saying that rigging looks awesome, this is very difficult. They sometimes comment on my videos, I cannot, if I only could do that. Don't say it, do it. I am no expert on this. There are excellent YouTube channels where you can really learn. Here I'm just registering this build and going along. You can do it. I don't know whether your reason is if you cannot see properly, or if your hands shake. Well, welcome to the club. My hands shake a lot. It's a problem I have, and a problem that in a few years will give me some troubles. But right now, no problem at all. Just put your heart into it, and you can do it. If you comment, "Oh, I cannot do this right now," try it. It's only a model if you ruin it. Don't. It's not a problem. Life is have much more problems than this, right? So try it. Don't worry, you can do better. And when this angle comes, I stopped looking. I stopped to look at this now, because it's amazing. I really do love to see all these ropes, and yeah, one or two probably are not where they should be, but most of it is going through where it should. And when you look at this angle, the rigging and all the ropes, they make sense, but at the same time they make the ship looks, I don't know, busy, full of activity. I just love it. To make the sails a little bit more realistic, I used this rope, exactly the same color as the sail, and put it on top. Why? When the glue time comes to glue it to the mast, it will be straight, and also it will allow to use the needle to go through the rope and the sail. It won't be as hard as if you were only going through the sail. And I think it makes it a bit more real. Super glue, however, went well, because I don't know dick about sewing, and to be very honest, you cannot see any trace of super glue in the cloth. So yeah, it's a win-win. Let me tell you something, I'm a military. I know how to basically sew a button. I know all that basic stuff. I went through all that. but this is another level, and I am not at the point where I'm good at, so I try to do my best here. And I would like to take this opportunity, I should do this in every video. As you know, I was on Patreon, I left Patreon. You guys were paying me, but I was not at the same level. I was not giving you as much as you were giving me. If you're giving me 1 cent, it's my duty to pay you with work, and I was not working enough on this. Thank you. However, here I have a few supporters, and I am grateful for them. And they are Yahum, Jean Gritten, Bushranger, Carl Williams, Rupert Cars, an amazing naval modeler, an amazing modeler, but he does ships. He is amazing. And Rodney Yass. So for them, thank you very much for being stuck with me here, for supporting me. I am grateful. And on each model that I built, and I started building this one, not because I was tired of the wood chip ones, but I really wanted to something small, you know, something very small that I could dedicate myself and at the same time clean a bit my head. But yeah, I want to get back to them. Also HMS Victory. But it was very interesting to do all this process. I learned a lot. I learned so much that I feel confident now to tackle a little bit of the rigging of HMS Victory from Heller, and of course a lot of the Victory of rigging, from Amerigo Vespucci from Oker. Yeah, this is baby steps. This YouTube channel is about baby steps, and this is my journey through modeling. It's my hobby, and thank you for being here with me. And I don't know where I got these white hairs. When I started this channel, they were all black, so this probably is a video camera error. I don't know. And on this final section of the video, I'm putting the final sail, the mizzen sail, on the stern of the Santa Maria now. Now, I know, and really, I know there isn't a treasure trove of information about the Santa Maria, okay? She met her fate at the depths of the ocean with Christopher Columbus' expedition. And hey, even though this depiction might not be historically spot on, whatever you want to call it, there's something undeniably beautiful about this mold, this ship, or this model. I really, really like it. And I want to apologize also in advance for the length of this video. Life on the high seas of life isn't always full of favorable winds, you know, and it can be a bit unpredictable, and so sometimes you have to swim against the current in order to succeed, but the hobby pays a price. So for my delay on this final video and full video, I am sorry. Now, I need to extend a massive, massive thank you to each and every one of you who's been sailing alongside me on this modeling adventure on this model. Your support and engagement mean the world to me, and I am deeply, deeply grateful. Now let's talk brass talks. This video might be a bit longer than our usual little escapades, but I hope you found it amusing, and above all useful and entertaining. Okay, and I hope you find it as much joy in watching it as I did in creating it, because above all, if this brings a smile to your face and you can remove something useful from this video, it's good for me. Modeling should always be about having fun, right? And guys, as always, keep modeling, always with a smile. Stay safe out there. Until next time, happy sailing.